Good morning, YouTube. Waking up and working out. For many people, exercise period is not a favorite topic, let alone working out in the morning. That would be the last thing most people would want to do. But it's a highly wise idea. You keep moving. You wake up sitting. You keep sitting. Wake up active, you become active. If you wake up slow, you become slow. Sounds really philosophical and deep, like as far as waking up consciously and waking up to the benefits of your relationship and waking up in general about life, but I'm just talking about physical activity. Now, you don't have to do major cardio, heavy, intense weightlifting kind of deal first thing in the morning or early in the morning as part of your morning routine, although eventually, especially if you're feeling good and you begin to do this as a regular activity, you will get there, because there was a point at which I was there that I would wake up and do yoga and then weight lift and take a long walk, and it did not faze me. I have not done weightlifting in some time. I just do yoga and walk. And the first activity that I do, because I'm not a morning person, I am not one of those people. Those either very well practiced or very bright-eyed and bushy-tailed morning people that wake up, throw on their running shoes, and run out the door and go for a jog or do physical activity or go straight for their yoga mat. How I wish I was, maybe someday, but right now I'm just trying to get back into physical activity. If you've gotten out of the habit or you've never been in the habit, keep in mind to start slow. But in order to, an object in motion tends to stay at motion, an object at rest tends to stay at rest. When you wake up in the morning, very, very early, you should not be just sitting. Maybe for a cup of coffee and a glass of water. You can just be sitting, but at minimum, wake up as soon as that alarm hits. Or naturally, if you wake up early, get up, get out of your bed. Don't keep going back to sleep, keep going back to sleep, keep going back to sleep, because we only really get restorative sleep in our deepest sleep cycle anyway, and all that does is make the wake up process slower. So hop out of your bed, do some sort of traditional thing that you do, light some candles, turn on the coffee pot, turn some lights on, open some doors and windows if you can, if it's warm, get some natural light, or get a light box if you don't have. I'm pretty cheap, so I don't buy a whole lot of things, but that is hugely beneficial in a low light, low warmth kind of a state. And it triggers your mind that it's morning, and move from room to room to room, picking things up, putting things away that need to go where they need to go. Drink water. Don't dump down a bunch of caffeine, because that's going to make you like, ugh, and you're not going to feel like exercising. Drink water, because if you have heartburn from coffee on an empty stomach, you're not going to feel like exercising. Same with tea. The stomach acid is going to upset your stomach, and you're not going to feel like exercising. simply moving from room to room to room and putting stuff away as you wake up between your cups of coffee or whatever else it is that you are doing is physical activity. Also, change. Not just wake up, turn on the lights, drink some water, make it bright with natural light if you possibly can. But gradually crank up the tunes from nonverbal to gratitudinal to motivational to intellectual, that brighten your mind, move your body right away. Change out of your pajamas. Even if that's as far as you get at first, changing out of your pajamas into your workout clothes and moving about the house and cleaning the house will make you more inclined to feel like you're ready to go. Versus if you're sitting around in your pajamas all morning, you're not going to feel like you even plan on leaving the house, let alone like you plan on doing something productive. Go and sit outside. If you throw on your shoes while you go and sit outside, you may be inclined to take a walk around the block. Since you're already out there, you're already in workout clothes, you know you don't look like a crazy person, and that you may have to deal with for the rest of your life. It may damage the car. So be careful with the car. Less is more. Be moderately active. Weightlifting is excellent. Don't overdo it. Walking is fine. Don't overdo it. And if you get into Epic, I have not yet done it, but I want to get into these town walks. I haven't quite figured out how to pull that off, and I had a bipolar episode that kind of threw me off track. But all of these fundraising walks have always just seemed really cool to me. And I know now, between my job and just my excessive walking, that I can walk 16, 17 miles in a day and have it be fine. The only problem is my feet. Because I broke them because I walked too much in improper shoes. So if you're going to move beyond just basic physical activity and physical maintenance and really start to fall in love with something and invest in it and spend a lot of time doing the same type of thing, doing weight training, really get into intermediate and difficult yoga, whatever you get into, even simple walking, really just hits the mark and you love it. You have to alternate your workouts. You have to, because you'll realize if you don't, when you go different activities, work different types of muscles and different, there's the muscles that grow, and then there's the fiber that weaves the muscle together. There's tendons and flexibility and balance. There's a tendency to fall into one group of activity that you just like, and then when you go back to do something you did previously with ease, you find it to be incredibly difficult. Like for me, weight training, because I really have not done that for a while, and I was up to 20-pound weights and a 20-pound kettlebell, and I found my 3 and 5s quite difficult, and I was sore from a few squats for like 3 days. So we're gonna have to build back up to that slowly, but you lose, you want a well-rounded capacity for physical movement, because really that's what the point of exercise is. Although if you are blessed and you end up falling into something eventually you love, biking, that that's just what you do. If you don't practice some other things periodically, you lose them, and you lose other general mobility, strength, and attributes that you could have, plus you risk overuse injury by doing the same thing again and again and again and again. If you're working toward fitness or weight loss, you will plateau, and shaking up your routine, not only is it beneficial for your overall body, but it keeps sustaining the health and welfare of your overall body. If you're going to invest highly in one activity primarily over the others, like me with walking, you've got to bite the bullet and invest in the right equipment, or you'll hurt yourself. Unfortunately, I mean, some of you out there, I highly doubt the people that watch me are kids. We're not kids anymore. And the older that you get, the safer that you need to be. So properly fitted shoes with proper insoles, proper equipment for walking so you don't damage yourself. A bike. You want a proper bike. If you're going to be biking for miles and miles and miles, you need it to be maintained and suited for your activity. Weights. You should probably invest in a little bit of training so that you know what you're doing is appropriate and not going to injure you, versus someone who just does it periodically, just very, very lightly. They can just hop on something at the gym if that's what their thing is. Or like me, I've got free weights in the kitchen, and that's fine for me. And I do it periodically, and I do squats, and you know, that's I don't get heavy into it, so I'll throw something on YouTube and just go for it. I'm not getting into heavy lifting, and I'm not predominantly lifting. I'm predominantly doing yoga. So you need to educate and invest in proper equipment for the things that you are really getting into, if you really get into a groove with a particular exercise, or you'll hurt yourself. It's like wanting to make your car a drag racer, and so you just slam the pedal to the floor. Our body is the only vehicle for our entire life, and you have to fit it to be able to do what you need it to do. But so yeah, waking up and working out. Step number 1, get right out of bed. Step number 2, don't overdose on the coffee. Drink water, turn on natural lights, move from room to room to room and pick things up. Change out of your pajamas. Wash your face, if that's your thing, or at least splash water on your face. That'll help wake you up. Put your hair up, get your workout clothes on. And if you can, get your ass out the door. And that will be the start. Clean your house. That'll be step 2. Because it gets you in the habit of moving. You're a person who wakes up and you move. Next, pick up something light and progress. Vary your workouts. Invest in proper equipment if something really settles to you. And the momentum for the day is the momentum for the rest of the day. So the sooner you move, the less sore you're going to be, the more wide awake, and the more active you're going to be for the rest of the day and the rest of your life. Love you guys. Wake up and work out, or sweep your floors in workout clothes.